Other thing you will notice is on the side here, you'll notice these three things at the bottom. I might change their order just because I kind of want them to be the other way. So if you are looking for assistance from a human, okay, or through something that seems like a human, these are your three options, okay? Of course, aside from talking to me, right? So remember, Zooms, there's a link for Zooms. These are the times for Zooms. Come and talk to me, okay? You know, and any of those times are great. Or we could make appointments too outside of that, okay? But let's say it's the middle of the night, or I'm not available, or whatever, okay? You have three different options for tutoring through Canvas. One of them is the Success Center. So if any of you were Chafee students in the before times, before we ended up in our current situation, you might remember the Success Centers as actual physical locations. This is our virtual version, okay? And so here's, you know, the buttons to kind of figure out when are they around? How do I access different things? Which center do I even go to? Well, since this is a science class, you're going to go to the not art communication design, not business tech hospitality. You're going to go to STEM. Okay. Connect to center, find activities and resources, schedule an appointment, right? So include statistics, math, biology, chemistry, physics. Okay. So that's where you want to go to make an appointment with an actual, you know, Chafee tutor, or sign up for workshops or anything that they do at the Success Center. If you're like, I don't know what they do at the Success Center, right? Come here and just kind of like doodle around, right? Click on About Us, figure out what's going on, right? Just kind of explore. Okay. So that's one of the options. All right. What was that? Okay. So the Success Centers are free, are good because they're supported by actual, you know, Chafee people. But they're limited hours, right? Because, you know, humans are manning them, and humans with limited hours. So many of the tutors are students, or in some cases faculty, but the hours are somewhat limited to mostly daytime. So you have two other options for when, or if it's a holiday, like I'm recording this on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, right? So if it's a national holiday, Chafee employees are not working unless we're at home making videos for our class, but whatever. Right? So you're not going to be able to access the Success Center on holidays either. Okay. So what are your other options, right? You're thinking, I got an exam and I'm stressing out. One of them is this thing called Smart Thinking Online. So I'm just going to click, I opened a tab for this already. When you click on, you need to click on, there'll be this thing where it's like, it's going to give you, I can't remember what they call it, but it's basically going to like attach your name to it, your account. Each student for free has been given 600 minutes, so 10 hours of available time here. I haven't explored this very much. Mostly I just wanted to show you what it was and then kind of invite you to check it out. So this is really useful for writing, but also there's tutoring in a bunch of different subjects as well. Okay, so tutoring, come on, tutoring, trying to click on you. Are you gonna work? There we go. Hey, science, woo woo. Science. Come on, science. There you go. And, you know, so send a question, get an answer. I don't know. I don't know how this works, but try it. See if you like it. Okay. The other option is the one that says star-CA. Once again, I don't know very much about this. Right. So, right. I invite you to check this out. Okay. View available star-CA tutors across various subjects. Let's try it, see what happens. Hey, look at that tutoring schedule. Do we have anything? Science, biology, boom. Hey, look at that. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, that's very limited. All right, well, whatever. Okay, it's something, right? So check that out. Okay. sharing technology and academic resources in California. Anywho, okay. And there's, you know, other stuff in here. So your college is not a NetTutor partner. Well, excuse me. Okay. Anyway, so that's not super useful, but it's there. So whatevs. Okay. So yeah, so those were just a couple things that I wanted to make sure you knew about. I also, the page that I'm linking this video on, I'm also going to put links for some of my favorite YouTube channels. I will link specific videos from some of those, but you know, in general, if you're like, I watched your lecture video and I need something a little more, feel free to check out some of those favorite YouTube channels of mine as well. And many of them I'm sure you're familiar with because you probably have looked at some of them before. Okay, so I will post those as well. Okay, so just a couple ideas for tutoring and other study tools to kind of augment, right, what we're doing here. Okay, I'm looking at my list to see if there's other things on my mind. Nope, I think I talked about everything I want to talk about. Support, eText, yep. Okay, have fun. If you have questions, you know where to find me.